We are here, Shamrock, Texas. We're at the famous Conoco Station from the movie Cars. I am obsessed.
That's one of the posters there that Annabelle made for the Disney Imagineers. They came twice to get inspiration for their Cars Land theme park out in Disneyland. Get your kicks on Route 66.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of Ford Era. Today we are starting in Elk City, Oklahoma. We're going to be making it all the way to the Big Texan in Amarillo. We're going to be visiting Shamrock, Texas. That's where Cars was based off of. They got that really cool Conoco Station. I can't wait to see it. I've never been there before. And eventually tonight we're going to be ending at the Big Texan in Amarillo. But we've got a really cool crew with us today. We got Michael. He has this 78. He's all the way from Australia with his wife and daughter. Obviously, we got Dan drove from Wyoming. We got Lou, came all the way from California. I'm in Brownie. And then we got Jack, who's local here to Elk City. He's gonna be running with us. And right now we're here at the National Route 66 Museum in Elk City. We're gonna walk around. We're gonna probably throw the drone up, check this out. And it's a great way to start the day. So let's go. We couldn't come to Elk City and not come visit the Parker Drilling Rig 114. At one point, this was the biggest drilling rig, period. It drilled a 33,000 foot well. So we had to come check it out, and now we're gonna go to Shamrock. We've been cruising now, probably about 30 miles. It's been really cool. So we started out in Elk City, Oklahoma. That's where Jack's from. We got to meet up with him this morning. We stopped at the gas station, got some ice, got some drinks, went to cruise through downtown Elk City. They've got a really cool visitor center. The visitor center is really awesome because they've curated all of the old buildings and they brought them all to one area. They've got the train there, they've got the opera house there, like a jail, old schoolhouse, the church. It's just so many things in one area, and it's a lot of good photo ops. We stopped there, walked around, had fun. We went to check out what I've never seen before, because in Florida, we don't have a lot of oil drilling rigs. So we saw an oil drilling rig that drills a 30,000 foot well. At one point, that was the biggest well drilled. That was really cool. Now we're just cruising. We're on the way to Shamrock, Texas. We stopped at, I think it's called Sayre, Oklahoma. They had a really cool horseshoe over there. We got a photo op. Got my truck dirty with the red clay, and I think we're about halfway to Shamrock right now. We're riding on a 6-inch Skyjacker lift so we could clear the 35-inch Mickeys. Most people think when you're riding a lifted truck, it's not smooth, you're not gonna have a good drive. They're wrong. When you have a Skyjacker lift, it is smooth, it rides great. Look at this, one finger on the wheel, no problem whatsoever. So if any of you guys are looking to get yourself a Skyjacker lift, head over to skyjacker.com, use code FORDERA10, save yourself 10%. And as you know, I installed a full retro sound stereo system in here. We got the head unit, 2 subwoofers, all the speakers. I want to enjoy it. We're gonna crank up the music and we're gonna enjoy the rest of this cruise. So we just drove through and we're in Eric, Oklahoma. This is the home of Roger Miller. I'm a big Roger Miller fan, so I figured I have to stop, get a picture by the mural, and then we're gonna keep on going. this is way too cool. So this isn't even a stop that we had planned. I was literally driving by and I'm like, yeah, I gotta check this out. What's crazy to me is this is hundreds of thousands of dollars of vintage porcelain signs and all the good stuff that's here. It's crazy that it's literally just right there. And then there's another building we're gonna drive by in a second and it's all over the walls. This is so cool. We got a long bed, den side bed sitting over here. Look at the Goodyear's tire one on the top, the John Deere. This Texaco, this is literally, my mind is being blown. Yeah, I bet you whoever owns this place owns that place.
Guys, you can go any place in my building and take photos.
Nice to meet
my
you.
name's Harley.
This is incredible, sir. This is what you think of Route 66 when you think of Route 66. So Harley, how many years young are you, sir?
I'm 80.
80.
I've been here half of my life. This is me and my wife Annabelle in the black and white photo when we started here in 1986, 40 years ago.
Back then, what was this? How did this start?
This started by accident. We were in here one day starving to death. Guy came in the door and said, "Can I let these people come in?" And I said, "Yeah, let them come on in." And we thought it was a couple of his friends, and it turned out to be a busload of people from the UK. And that's how it started. And after that, we got flooded with tour groups and TV crews from all over the planet. Most of my visitors come from overseas. And Annabelle passed away in 2014.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's one of the posters there that Annabelle made for the Disney Imagineers. They came twice to get inspiration for their Cars Land theme park out in Disneyland. Then that's our invitation up here from Pixar to the world premiere of the movie Cars.
No kidding.
Yeah, right there.
Really?
Yeah, that's our invitation from them. Then I've got photos of the animators in that case, and then Disney Imagineers over on this side, and then some other things there, like the CBS News team from New York that was here before the movie Cars came out. I'm going to show your friends here a couple of things, if you don't mind.
I'd love to see it.
I'll show you first, I'll show you the world's biggest pocket knife.
Oh my goodness. Wow. And that's from the 1860s.
Well, they got the dadgum world's biggest ketchup bottle and milk bottle and all that stuff. Pass it around, let all of your friends hold it and play with it and pet it.
Gosh, Jody.
That's crazy.
And then I've got the first Route 66 sign posted in the state of Oklahoma.
No
It was
way.
posted in 1926, 100 years ago. So me and this sign are celebrating the Route 66 100-year centennial as well.
That's
You can pass that around to your friends.
Guys,
let them hold it, and they can take. You guys can take photos with the knife and with that stuff.
That is so cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got this dadgum wild man Solomon in here today. He's got these dadgum folks in here from who knows where doing their kicks on Route 66. So guys, I'll give you a little quick version of it my way, about like this. Oh, if you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway instead. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago down to LA. More than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Will you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City? She's mighty pretty, you'll see. Amarillo, Gallon to Mexico. Back to Mexico, don't forget Winona. Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Once you get hit to this Cali Trail, oh, California, get your kick on the cruise. And that's what you gotta do if you want to be a Route 66 icon.
Thank you so much for letting us into your home.
I'm glad I'm able to do it. Now, listen, why don't you take your crew, your cameraman over there, and look around over at the Redneck Castle / Sanitarium while you're here.
I would love that.
If you can go, there's an alley here behind the house, and then if you swing around, you can go around on the street and take other photos.
Perfect. We will do just that.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna head out. Harley just gave me one of his picks, and that's really cool. So I'm gonna take this home, add it to my collection. Let's go see everything else. How cool is this? Jack's rolling up. We should probably interview him and talk about this thing. All right, guys, so we walked back over here to check out Harley's place, and Jack was telling me that he's gonna be heading back to Elk City, but I wanted to talk to him and show you guys everything about his truck. So this walk around is brought to you by Beltec. This is Jack Christian. He lives here in Elk City, Oklahoma. We've known each other for what, probably 6, 7 years?
Yeah, probably so.
And I think you probably have the most beautiful unibody ever.
I think you've tried to buy it before.
I did try to buy it before. And I kind of wish that I did, because back then I remember the price that you told me, and I'm sure it's not going to be that price today.
It goes up.
That's how it goes. The more you fall in love with it.
The more serious you are about buying, the higher it is.
100%. Yeah, when you don't have the money, oh yeah, here's the price.
It will never be for sale, and I'll own this one for the rest of my life, probably.
So tell me the story of this truck, because I've seen the truck. I've talked to Brian Pope, who built the truck. I've talked to Lewis, who put the Coyote motor in the truck,
Yeah.
but we've never spoken to you to actually hear the entire story of this 1962 unibody.
Well, the truck's originally sold in Florida, Texas, which is about 200 miles from here. A local guy that worked for the fire department bought the truck in Elk City, and it was stock, sitting high. And my son, the first time he said it, we got to buy this truck if it ever comes for sale. Well, lo and behold, within, say, 6 months, my son calls me up and says, hey, Dad, that truck's for sale up here on the corner. And so, fast forward, I immediately bought it. Of course, we didn't want to leave it stock. We had it stock for a year or so, and who else would you want to build a Ford truck than Brian Pope?
Absolutely.
And so Brian built the truck. The motor, we went back and forth, and I just left the 460 that was in it when Brian bought it. But fast forward again, we got tired of kind of being an anchor, and so I had met Lewis. And I like Lewis, and Lewis had just built one with a Coyote in it. And so we sent it to Lewis to put the Coyote in it.
And one of my favorite parts is obviously the patina, but this front grill guard, was that on there originally?
I think the truck was sold with the grill guard and the bumper on it originally.
That is so cool.
And which is, I've never seen another.
I've never seen this style except for this one. I remember Brian hating this, because he would only post photos without it
Absolutely.
on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
he didn't really, once he got through, he really didn't want to put it back on.
Really?
But, you know, I grew up as a Ford mechanic, and we used to put, that was in the late 60s and 70s, and we used to put grill guards like this on these back in those days.
I've always been obsessed with how Brian does his interiors. What was the inspiration behind this?
The dash was white, and Brian, we weren't really, when we started, we weren't going to do anything to the interior, and then Brian said, well, let's paint it, let's go red, and so we just went red with it.
It looks so good.
And so, and we tried to keep it simple.
Yep. So you got vintage air.
Vintage air. So.
And then I have always been absolutely blown away by how he did the bed.
Yes.
The bed on this thing is literally, you can't tell that it was raised, and that's crazy to me.
I mean, he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. And I love the rear bumper. You know the reason why it was like this?
So
That way you could fully fold the bumper down and back right up to something.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that about those bumpers, and those
Yeah.
are actually really rare and hard to find.
Yeah. And what kind of crash would this been when the,
Wow, and the indent too.
yeah. We used to use pipe threaders a lot, and I think that's
Drop the pipe
jaw.
threader.
I think that's the jaws of a pipe threader, and it probably the pipe was on it, and the thing came loose, and I think that's what that is.
There you guys go. He's gonna be heading back to Elk City. We got 20 miles till we get to Shamrock. Jack,
It's
Thanks
always,
for-
hey, it's always good to see you, and it's more special that you were in my hometown and we got to show you around Western Oklahoma.
thank you for having me. I can't
right.
wait to come back.
6, 7, 8 years ago when we first met, I never thought you'd be in Western Oklahoma.
Here we are.
Yeah, and you know that's what trucks and cars and these old things, it just brings lots of good friends together that we'd have never met. A Jewish guy, a Christian guy in Western Oklahoma that are best buddies.
Come here, bring it in. You guys, that literally is exactly what he said is the truth. Trucks are what bring us together. It doesn't matter what your religion is. Doesn't matter what your politic views are. None of that matters.
No.
If you got a truck, do you want to go cruise? All right, let's go cruise. All right, guys, so we thought we were about to head out, and then boom, who do we see but Jeff?
Thank you for not saying who do we run into. I'm so glad we didn't run into each other.
I don't want to run into anybody, dude. No, not on this trip.
I drive a 55. I usually have a 55. I got the Suburban now. 55 got hit. It's in the shop. But I wrote a book, or it's a coffee table book of the 55 all of Route 66. There you go.
Dude,
That's for you. I sell them online. Yeah, if you look me up on Facebook or message me, I can get you one. And
so we are headed here, Shamrock, Texas. Let's go.
all right, I'm.
We'll follow you.
All right, we're going west.
Your camera's
All
on
right,
your hood.
giddy up.
All right, guys, so we are still in Eric, Oklahoma. Right now, we're following Jeff, and I don't know if he knows exactly where we're going, but we're having fun, and we're almost to Shamrock. Looks like we found some other spot he wants to check out, and we are doing a lot of these roll-bys, as we say. So we get to look at it. Oh, that place is definitely a little scary. Looks like we're gonna pop out. I just saw, I think, bloody handprints.
How cool is that to drive around?
Dude, that looked like a
Nuts.
horror movie.
Yeah, okay, so wait.
It might give your daughter nightmares.
Yeah, I just said, oh, I don't think we want to look in there, do we?
Probably not. My wife wouldn't like it. Look at the bathroom. This place is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I'm happy that we're here during the day. All right, guys, we officially made it into Texas. This is the state line. Can't really see the sign at all, but we're here. We're in Texas, so Shamrock, almost there. We are here, Shamrock, Texas. We're at the famous Conoco Station from the movie Cars. I am obsessed. I've never been here before. I've always wanted to come here. We're actually here, so I'm gonna enjoy this. You guys enjoy the B-roll. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. Guys, we are right now in Shamrock, Texas. We're cruising. We just left the Conoco Station. We heard that they restored a Magnolia gas station down this way, so we're gonna head over there. So far, this town is really cool. We saw the mural they have painted over there. I just am obsessed with the movie Cars. That gas station, the Conoco on the corner, has always been, since I seen the movie Cars, somewhere that I wanted to come visit, and we're finally here. So we are on the highway, and guess what's happening? The same BS that's been happening. So right now, truck's bogging down, and we are 11 miles from where we gotta go, which means we are going to relax, let this thing cool down, which is what we've been doing every day, and we'll make that 11 miles. Heck, I could even jump onto 66. Here we go. Let's pop the hood, let some of the hot out, drink some drinks. Should we pull the line off and see if fuel's coming out the line? We have no fuel, which means it probably is vapor locking, which is really weird because we got an electric pump and there's literally no fuel coming. So we're gonna check, make sure why, figure it out. Thank you, Michael. How hot's the coil? I mean, it's not extremely hot.
Not as hot as it
Yesterday,
used to be.
no. See, and now it just started right up. We didn't really do anything.
Got that clump.
What do you think? Should I put it on? I mean, we're gonna go to Buc-ee's, it's 11 miles. All right, guys, so just like I said, you let it sit for 2 minutes, you don't really do anything to it, and it fires right back up. So this, I've been saying the entire time, the curse of Route 66. It was pretty cool. So you see that right there, that grass? All we did was jumped right across it because 4x4 truck, 35s, 6-inch lift, you know, all the good stuff. And what's kind of funny is before we had the windows open and I closed the windows because I wanted to get good audio, but now it's starting to get hot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank up this here vintage air. Do you guys hear the tornado going on in here right now? So we are back to turned off, and you know, it is what it is. I walk up and then look, check out this right here. I'll try to point. So this right here, that's a sight glass. That I look in, and usually you would see fuel, moving around. There's no fuel, so what keeps happening is we're driving, it's getting fuel correctly, it's filling everything up how it's supposed to, and then as soon as it runs out of fuel, this turns off and we pull back over. So we need to figure out why it does that. We need to get it to not keep doing that. All right, should I try to bonsai this 3 miles?
Yeah, it'll go another bit.
We just made it 4 miles. We just gotta make it another 4. There we go. Couple more minutes and fired right up. All right, guys, we are almost at the Buc-ee's. I am excited. We are here. You guys see that big old Buc-ee's Amarillo sign? That means we are in 2 places. We're in Buc-ee's and we're in Amarillo. So our hotel ain't too far. I don't know exactly where because I had this address on. But we made it. Which one would you guys run? Howdy or road trip? Drop it down below. Started becoming obsessed with pins. As you can see, I'm loading them all up and we just found a bunch of Buc-ee's pins. So I'm gonna get myself some. It's a $2.50 America pin. These are cheap. Everywhere else the pins have been like $15. $2. Perfect. You guys see what it says right here? Party time. We just got to Amarillo. Let's go to the Big Texan because it's party time. We made it to the Big Texan. I'm sitting on the wagon wheel. This is comfy. We made it here. We're gonna end this video right here so that way we could start again tomorrow morning. So if you guys can, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, so I dropped Nick off at his hotel. So now you guys are on my camera. And I thought the video was gonna be over, but then a couple of awesome trucks pulled up, so I figured I had to show it to you guys. So we're here in Amarillo, and these fellas are local. This is a 79 F350. This is an original freewheeling truck. Snow Fighter. And it has custom graphics. So somebody redid the graphics back in the 80s who said it's got an awesome roll bar on the top of it. And then you could see the freewheeling insert in the tailgate. It's got 16 5s on it. Obviously, beautiful roll bar. Love that. Let's check out the interior.
Yeah, ever.
This thing looks awesome. Yeah, this thing is super cool.
Oh yeah.